This is Earl Amin with the 2024 Side Podcast, where CEOs of small to global companies share their insights. It is 6 questions in 9 minutes because top CEOs know how to listen and be concise. So let's get to it. First of all, welcome. And in just a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
So I'm Melanie Johnson. I own Elite Online Publishing. We make authors bestsellers. We teach them how to use their book for their business to get big ticket clients and get credibility and media attention. And my background is in television. I owned and operated 2 TV stations, one in Houston, one in Dallas. And I was also an online or an on-air personality back in the day and a former Miss Michigan.
Outstanding. I can see all of those present before me now. So, Melanie, tell me, what's the best thing about being the CEO of your company?
You know what? I really love what I do. My family's business was insurance, but no one really goes, "Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for my auto insurance." But when we publish somebody's book and they become a bestseller, they are so excited. They're so grateful and thrilled. I just never thought I would see my book in my hand, let alone be a bestseller. And we guarantee all our authors will be #1, and they just still can't believe it when it really happens for them. So it's so fulfilling to hear their message out to the world. And we focus on books that are motivational, educational, and that inspire people. So we know we're spreading a message of joy and inspiration out to the world. And that just brings us joy. And I just love what we do.
Outstanding. I love what you do. So let me ask you this. I'm sure in your journey to being CEO of your company, you have heard from other CEOs, as have I, that leading a team and being able to see what lies ahead can be a challenge. What are your thoughts?
You know, it is. I think part of that is making a plan and being able to change the plan as you go. You know, life happens, things happen. You wake up in the morning. This morning, I woke up with a completely different plan than what I was having, and things just changed. Someone didn't show up, someone did something else. And so you have to erase it and just adjust. So we like to do forecasting. So we do financial forecasting, do marketing forecasting, but then you have to be fluid to know that there's new technology happening all the time. There's new trends happening all the time. There's pandemics that may get in your way. So you have to be very fluid and be open to new ideas, new technology, new innovation, and see what's working at the time. You made a comment about my background, and we weren't in the background business, but suddenly people were all on Zoom and they're like, "Wow, that's cool. How'd you do that?" And I said, "Well, we can make those for you, I guess. We'll do that." So that was like just this little side hustle that rolled off of our main doing books. So, what is the need? What can you do? And but still stay in your lane. That being said, like you don't want to be totally outside of the box. So we try and say you can expand, but try and stay within your group of things that are complementary to what you do.
Yes, well said. So what specific piece of insight would you like to share with and for the benefit of other CEOs?
And this is going to kind of seem self-serving, but honestly, it's really writing a book. When we see CEOs write a book and they put all their knowledge down, like we just had Jamie Roots, he's the president of the NFL team, the Houston Texans, write a book about all the things he learned of starting that team from scratch and being there for 20 years, that it really eclipsed him and raised his credibility of someone else of who he is. And it's like, wow, I can grab that book and instantly know what he knows and what he wants to share, the things that went wrong, the things that went right, let alone leaving a legacy. And you create all of this momentum. And I tell people you're going to have social media content for years to come. You're going to raise the notoriety of your company when you do it and your personal credibility and your brand. So I really, truly believe it's one of the best things you can do. It gives you clarity. And again, as we talked about having that vision for the future, I can't tell you how many CEOs we worked with that they were having aha moments. Man, I forgot that we were going to do that with our company. I need to go back and do that. Or it reminded them of something else that they were doing that they should do more of or less of. So it's really a cathartic process. I tell people it's like having 5 years of therapy when you work with us, when we do a VIP book creation day all in one day.
Wow, that sounds exciting. So tell me, well, you will, I think, answer this question quite nicely. What other successful CEOs, contemporaries of yours, would you like to acknowledge or give a shout out to and should be on my podcast?
Sure. Well, Jamie Roots, of course. And then we're currently working with Dr. Laura Murillo. She is the president of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, that she has grown tremendously. I love the Free Mama, Lauren Golden. She started this platform from scratch and she wrote a book. And within the first weeks of her book, she had, I think, 10 new members because of her book into her membership platform. So that's what it does for you. And I think, don't be afraid of starting your own company, but surround yourself with people that have done it and you can get information from, create that plan. And today you have information at your fingertips. So I spoke to a group of women who were at a halfway house and they were complaining, about getting the job and not having the education. I said, who has a phone in this room? And there were like 20 women. They all had a phone. I said, so if you all have a phone, you can all get YouTube, you can Google anything, you can learn and give yourself an education, probably even better than going to school, and become an expert at whatever you want. So, you can't use that as an excuse anymore. So The world has changed. You have all the information. We can listen to your podcast, Earl, and learn from all these different CEOs that you have on here. So What a wonderful opportunity.
Indeed it is. So Melanie, for the final question, how do you celebrate a win?
So many times we forget to celebrate the wins. Don't you think? We get caught up in looking at what we still have to do, what we haven't done, what went wrong. And you really have to celebrate the win. We took time this year. We were like, we haven't really done we have a small corporation and we have people from all over the world that work with us. So we decided to do a pizza party, and we sent pizzas to 2 countries and 4 different states, and everyone got pizzas delivered to them, and we celebrated online and had our own little pizza party to celebrate what a great year that we had. So I think you have to take time to do that. So if you're not all together, think of creative ways to celebrate those wins and to pat yourself on the back and just enjoy and do something special, whether it's for yourself or for your company or even someone in your company that did a great job.
Yes. It's really been a great pleasure having you here today, Melanie. Tell me, how can people find you?
Sure. Go to eliteonlinepublishing.com. And if you go to eliteonlinepublishing.com/TAM, like Tom, Apple, Melanie, there's a bonus page there and you can opt in. You get our free book of Podcast Authorized that teaches you how to turn a podcast into a book or a book into a podcast. You might like that, Earl. And then there's also our book title and subtitle formula, as well as the book writing mindset. That's what stops authors most of the time is, my book's not going to be good enough. I don't know. I don't want to be vulnerable to put it all out there. And the mindset, like with everything that you do, whether you're being a CEO or writing a book, that's number one, is having a great mindset. So check that out as well.
Will do. This is Earl Amin with the 2024 Side Podcast. For more insights, go to LinkedIn and search for The Gray Owl Company. Melanie, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Earl. It was just a pleasure.